Hey guys, how are y'all doing? How's your day going? And if you're searching, how's your night? Hope you had or are having an amazing and a beautiful night rest. For those of you who don't know this, my name is Praise, and you're currently tuned into my channel. Here we do every single thing tech programming related, mostly Python because that's where I'm at right now. And yeah, if you're just joining us, if this is your first time, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a like, share it so that we can get a larger outreach. But whilst we're still on me publicizing myself, or whatever the English word for that is, few things. First of all, I released a book. It's not a book, it's more of a guide, a Python guide. Is working hand in hand with this Python course I just released on YouTube. So you can go and check his playlist on his own 10 days Python crash course. So he had the day one is basic concepts of Python. You have input and strings, control flow, functions and models, file handling, arrays, object oriented programming, recursion, rock, paper, scissors, and regular expression. You can go on there and check it out for yourself, or you can come over here to my link tree where if you want to get in touch with me, you can do so from here. We also have a Telegram channel where we have like I'm still setting it up. The about to become like your daily project. Just get yourself ready for the day, kind of like a daily warm up. My GitHub, YouTube, Instagram, OneDrive, Amazon App Store, game group, whatever. And on this note of this Amazon App Store, so I have a couple games I have released on Amazon, so you can go over there and you can download them. They're all basic games. There's nothing like fancy about games, not your 3D. It's just kind of like stress relief games. So the first one is this Pac-Man. If you are familiar with Pac-Man, so we have these. You can go there. Please don't forget to rate it so that they can suggest it to more people. We have this Chrome Dino. So you know when you are working on Chrome and you go offline, you have your Rubik's cube. Just kind of like these basic things that you do. You tic tac toe, paint. This one is a drum. Music maker, just all those basic games that you just use on a day-to-day basis. So this one just got released today, December 13th. So you can just go there, check it out for yourself. Okay, see, yeah, this one even introduction to Python. I think I also have introduction to HTML here. See it, hypertext markup language offline. That is the introduction to HTML. You can go get that for yourself. You can also get the book on Amazon. It's just $1. But if you are using Kindle, if you're getting it on the Kindle, it's free. And yeah, so today we're going to be focusing on Python CS50P course. So we started it live yesterday. So I go live on TikTok 11 p.m. West African time. We'll just introduce the course. I'll explain it in detail to you. We'll just work on examples, and then I come to YouTube here to work on solving the problems that we have at hand. So yesterday we just started with problem set zero. We started with lecture zero, which means we were doing problem set zero. Yesterday was just a basic strings, functions, nothing much. So we're just going to jump into all that today. So let's go into our very first problem. Before you jump in, just go read the documentation of every single thing so you know what you need and not need to have, or if that's not even the right English. But just go look through it, like especially if you want to submit it for for it to be graded, because Harvard do grade it. If you want it to be graded, you would need to set up a couple things. So read through all that by your own self. I'm not doing that. I'm just solving the problem. So we have indoor voice. Writing in all caps is like killing. Best to use your indoor voice, sometimes writing entirely in lowercase. In a file called this, implement a program in Python that prompts the users for input and then outputs the same input in lowercase. All right, let's jump into it. Very, very simple program. You can look at their demo. So look at what the demo is. Oh shit. Oh no. Oh no. He just took in a word in capital letter and returned it letter. A very, very basic program. Oh shit. I just said, okay, see, um I'm working on a project, right? And it's supposed to come be like um it's a video playing. I'm not gonna call it YouTube. But I've been saying this is I'm always saying it. I know zero about styling. Like I just understand HTML, I understand CSS. If you give me your HTML CSS code, I can implement it for you. But for me to see that and come up with a design in my head and actually implement it, like I don't even have the design in my head. talk more of even creating design. Like there's some people who know how to create any design. Like you give them any design and they turn it into code. And there's some people that they'll give you the design for it to go. Any of those ones, I don't fall into any of those categories at all. My own is just give me, let me do the back end for you. And you can either give me your template to implement it, or I'll give my code and you create your template and implement it yourself. But for you to sit and start styling it, I don't know shit. So Hmm. I got like I've been trying to find them like the YouTube's this thing on like the one that I was not working with a JavaScript framework because I'm still I just started learning JavaScript recently because why not? Everybody's learning this, so I might as well learn it. So I still learn it, so I didn't want to start working with the complex and everything was just implementing frameworks. And I couldn't do that. So I just gave up. So I found this one, Sha. So this one is just it's just a very basic um what do you call it? Just very basic blog. This one is showing picture because I changed where the picture was saved, so I'll need to go and re-upload the picture. But if you sign, it's going to show your name, your username, not your name, show your username, show your profile picture, home, sign out. Then you can just you upload video. So this is the main home page. This is the default banner I'm using. I'm going to resize it though. This is the default banner I'm using. So if you this one is if you upload a thumbnail. If you don't upload a thumbnail, this is the panel that is going to show. That will show the name of the file, the person who uploaded it, the description, and the date it was uploaded. If you now click on it, it's not going to play the video for you. It will show you uploaded by, and if you click on first and it will take to where you find more videos. On this place we are seeing number three, I'm going to upload kind of like content about the videos like comment section and all those things, and here's now going to be more video suggestions for you. So I'm going to work on that later. What was I doing though? So we want to take an input from the user. You're taking input in Python, you're just passing input. It will prompt the user, not compulsory, but why not? Enter here. And now in Python strings, when you're formatting with strings, there are multiple things. For example, there's capitalize. Capitalize turns the very first word in that, the very first letter in that string to capital letter. The title turns every single first letter of every single word in that string to capital letter. Dot upper turns every single character in that string to capital letter. Dot lower turns every single letter in that string to lowercase. And that is what we're making use of today because we don't want to be shouting. They say we should use our indoor voices. So we're just passing dot lower and we just print A. So if we run it, hello world in capital letter should return hello world in small letter. The source code for everything is going to be available on my GitHub. Secondly, so we're done with this. Next one is playback playback speed. Some people have a habit of speaking rather quickly and it would be nice to slow them down. In a file called this, implement a program in Python that prompts the users for input and then outputs the same input, replacing each space with this. So well, basically once you receive an input from the user, you can see this is CS50. So once you receive an input from the user, and we want to replace every single white space with dots. There are multiple ways to go about it. So if you have jumped into regular expression, in regular expression they have this thing that helps you find and replace. So and the syntax for white space in regular expression, I think is backslash small letter s. We'll get into regular expression soon. But now what we just want to do, just want to get an input from the user. Then the next thing we want to split it. So if splitting in what splitting does is it takes a string A in this case and it distributes every single thing in that string to a list. So split, how do you spell split? Split. So if I just call split like this, then it's going to break that every single white space, which is what we want. But if I wanted to split that every single comma or every single time the letter A occurred, I'll pass that as a string into my prompt. But we don't want that. Next, we want to print. So we're going to use the join. So we want to join it with three dots. So that is when one, two, three, and then dots join, and the list we want to join. What was that sound? Did you guys hear that sound? We want to join V. So let's save this and fingers crossed it should run. So this is CS50. Okay, basic program so far. Next up we have let's just load quickly. Let me open all of them so they start loading because my network is messed up. Yeah, come to Nigeria. Before there were emojis, there were emoticons, whereby text like this was a happy face and text like this was a sad face. Nowadays, programs tend to convert emoticons to emojis automatically in a file called this. Implement a function called convert that accepts a string as an input and returns the same input with any this thing converted to this. Okay, so they specifically told us to create a function. So we're going to create a function, and function is going to take an argument which is going to be a string, and we're going to let me see. So for every place where we see this, so right there we can use conditionals to do this, or we can use conditionals to do this, or we can use find and replace. But I don't think they have done conditional. I want to try and use every single thing that was done in that class. So what do you think that they covered in that class that would do this? Um, I don't think we cover. So I think we should just use conditionals, but we'll just make it very simple condition. So we'll just use a very basic this thing. All right. So I'm going to name. I'm trying to name my own the same names that the project names are. So it'll be easier for you to it'll be easier for you to um hmm. Let's create a new file. So code. Let's make this small letter m dot py. Okay. So in Python, well, let's take an input from the user. A is going to be equals to just the same thing I've been doing. Input, passing a prompt. All right. So now we're going to the condition. So we want to pass for three conditions. So well, first one we want to check if if let's copy out the first thing that they said that we're receiving as input. If where is it? If this smiley face first, if this in a, so we want to replace. So to replace in when you're replacing something in string, you just call the string a so is there any other input where they passed it multiple times? Or no, let's just assign it somewhere. So let's say b is equals to a dot replace r replace. Then inside the prompt, we're just going to call what it is we want to replace and what we want to replace it with. So we want to replace this smiley, this weird smiley face, and I want to replace it with. Let me go and copy that emoji. Still don't know. Okay. Else we're going to do elif because I just want to pass on that condition just in case there none of those things exist there. Um elif let's get our frowning face. Just a little. So this in operator I'm calling is a membership operator. It's used to check whether something is present in an iterable. So elif if this is in a, b is going to be equal to a dot replace else b is going to be equals to a, because why not? So let's print b. Okay, let's run the program. Let me see all the inputs that they passed. Okay, copy the first one. Hopefully, it gives us what we want. Hopefully. Oh, I was supposed to even define the function. All right, so let's define the function. Forgive me if I did not know what I was doing. Define a function is def, the name of the function. Let's just call it remote. I think they gave us a name that they want us to call the function. Convert, convert. We want to receive an input from the user, which is going to be the string, and then we can just pass all this back here. Push no. All right, so we're going to define this, which is going to receive an input. It's going to test. Okay. Okay. And let's just call it. I'm trying not to make it complex. So there are so many other ways to go like typing call. There's many other ways to go about this though. So we just call in convert. So when you want to call a when you want to call a function that you have defined, you just call the name of the function, parentheses. If the function is accepting arguments, then you pass in your arguments. So let's run it. And let me copy this thing again. All right, let's run it again. And let's try to test for the frowning face. All right. Um, what next? What is the next one? Einstein. Even if you haven't studied physics recently or ever, you might have heard that this wherein E represents energy, M represents measures, and C represents speed of light. As essentially, the formula means that the mass and energy are equivalent. Wow, why am I learning math? If you write a program in Python that prompts the users for mass and integer in kilograms and then outputs the equivalent numbers in joules as the integer, assume the user will input an integer. Oh shit. Okay. So the variables we're working with is I don't really remember to make wow. Okay. What things we're calculating? Okay, so the user is only going to give us mass. So we're looking for E and the value for C is already by default this. So C represents speed of light, so it's C square. So let's call let me just minimize this here so I can be working side by side with it so I wouldn't, get lost. Okay, so we're going to create a new file here. How do you spell EINSTEIN.py? All right. So we're looking for E is undeclared, is undefined yet. M is going to be an input from the user. It must be an integer. So to make it an integer, we're going to pass int before we call our input, and then we're going to pass in input, enter mass just for prompt. All right. Next, C is equals to what they give us. C is equals to this is a long number. Wow. Let's just copy that. So C is equals to this, and then we're going to do C. So is the formula is C square. So when you want to square something in Python is exponential exponential. So what we can do is we'll do this square exponential. This is what do you call it? An assignment operator. Exponential exponential equal to 2. So next is okay is E we're looking for, right? E is equals to M times C square. So M times C, and let's print E. All right, let's save that. So let's come here to the program that you're working on. All right. So if these are passes in 50, this is the long word we're expecting to get. Okay. Let's use formatted string so we'll make it look the same way their own is. So E curly braces. You don't know how to talk in format, but this is a formatted string we're calling curly brace E. So let's save it. Why is my E not highlighted here? It's supposed to get highlighted. Hopefully the program is going to run well. I cannot find the terminal. Oh wow, I'm lost. Okay. Right, so the user passed in 50. All right, there we go. There we have it. If you are jobless, you can count all the zeros by yourself just to, confirm that what I did is correct. But yeah, this is basically the program. All right, and we're at our very last one, tip calculator. So let's create the file. Calculator.py. Let me just move this one into the appropriate. All right, so for our tip calculator, in the United States, it's customary to leave a tip for your server after dinner in a restaurant. Typically, an amount equals to 50% or more of your meal cost, or more of your meals cost. Not to worry though, we've written the tip calculator for you below. All right. So let's just copy their code. All right. So basically, what they have done in their code, they have defined three functions. The first one is the main function, which is kind of going to be the main thing of every single program. The reason why we are using this main function now is what if you want to declare multiple? Because no, before you can call a function, the function has already have been declared. But what if you are working with a large program and you want to start defining functions below it, and you don't want to start having to do top to be defining it? You can just call the function in your main, even if your main is the very first block, you can call the function there. Then so you can define the main function there, then below it you define all your other function, and at the ending of your program is where you call the main function. So that every single function you define afterwards is going to just be within your main function, if you understand. All right. So just let's get rid of these red lines we're seeing. So let's just call pass. So it's going to remove this red line pass. All right, now let's go back and read the question and understand our assignment. Well, we've written most of the tip calculator for you. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to implement two functions. Dollars to foot. I don't know how to speak English. So let's minimize the screen so we can see everything side by side. And I'm currently just get a drink of water because my throat is very dry. Okay. So dollars to float, that is this first function that was defined here. We should accept a string as input. That is this D. Oh, sorry, I got lost. So it should accept a string as input, where the string is going to be like we'll have dollar sign and digit and a full stop and some other digits. So they want us to, because if you have that dollar sign there, the dollar sign is not a float. Sorry, if you have the dollar sign there, so it's just going to automatically be a string. I'm trying to change if it's going to raise an error. So they want us to remove the dollar sign and then convert it to a float. For instance, given $50, you should impute this. Look, so we're already taking the as input. Is there a place where they'll call for the, why are they calling it? Okay, they have called it here dollars to float. All right. Okay. So if you want to remove we can make use of the replace, but does Python string have remove? I think it's only the list that has. I don't think Python string has remove. So let's just use replace. So we'll just replace with a white space, then maybe we'll just strip it. So we can say h is equals to d dot replace. So we want to replace the dollar sign. I want to replace it with nothing. Okay. I also want to strip it out of every single white spaces. So that just strip. So we're going to remove every white space before and after. And let's just return h. Oh no, let's return int h. We want to return h as an integer, right? Sorry, no float. Did they tell us to do that? I don't know. Let's see how they're calling it. To float. Dollars to float. And it's dollars to float. That is which what the function is. Alright. The next one, percent to flow. We should accept a string as input, formatted as HH percent, wherein H is the decimal digit. Remove the percent sign and return the percentage as a float. For instance, giving 15% as the input, it should return this. Okay, so we're going to divide by 100. Okay, so let's say V is equals to P dot replace. This one that I'm seeing them suggesting remove for me. I wish that Python strings don't have remove. I'll check it out. If it does, I'll let you all know. Or should I check it out now? Let me check. Remove remove string from string Python. Yeah, it's only replace Python works with. Resub. This resub is what do you call it? Is regular expression. So if you're using to have to import RE and you'll be using it like it's wrong regular expression. Should have been called regular expression. Regular expression is the best when you want to start finding things. It's just replace. I'm not saying anything about remove. Okay, what was I doing? Want to replace what? The percentage sign. Okay. So we want to replace it with nothing, and then we're going to strip. Okay. Then what else do you want to do? We want to turn V to a float, right? So V is equals to float float V, and we want to divide it by 100. So V is divided by equals to 100. I want to return V. Hopefully I've done it correctly because this code looks very much wrong to me. So let's just see what their input is, and so we'll know what we're getting. So we use this as a test. Okay, so let's save this. Let's cross our finger and run it. We'll just go back and start finding everything again. How much was the meal? They put $50.00. What percentage would you like to tip? 15%. Leave 7.50. All right, so if you are just us, we just finished the I didn't speak English there. We just finished our CS50s. Um, we just finished our CS50s. What do you call it? We just finished our problem set 0. Thank you all for watching. All the links, every single thing you need will be in the description below. Feel free to show some love. Don't give me money, just buy my book. Even if you're using Kindle, it's free. So just get the book, read it, leave your reviews, download my games. All the games are free, or all the apps are free. Download it, share this video, follow me, subscribe, and yeah, I hope to see you all here tomorrow because I'll be uploading for tomorrow again. Anyways, have a beautiful rest of your day. And yeah, bye.